So today's video is another video in the Hachette Disney Crochet Granny Square Blanket series. And today we are moving on to issue 56. Issue 56 is the Frozen Snow Flower Square. And we are going to be making this square just here. So we need 4 different colour yarns for this square. So to go through them, we've got the white, and we are using this one as part of the main square, not just for the border. We are using the peacock blue, we're using the cyan, and we're using the periwinkle. So before we go any further, I'd just like to say I don't know if everyone listens to the end of my videos, so I will say now, remember, if you are following along using your magazine subscription, to give the video a like, and do it now. Go and do it now before you forget, you know. Otherwise you just click off the end of the video and it will just go out of your mind, which is exactly what I'd do. So if you like the video now, then I know how many likes and how many people are still going along. And remember, if you want to leave a comment, I'm always going to reply. I'm always going to chat back with you. And it can literally be about anything. Even if you want to talk to me about how your day's going, just carry on. I think we've gathered by now how much of a chatty person I am. And also remember to hit that subscribe button if you want a notification for when the next video is posted, because I'm absolutely useless at letting you all know when I've posted them. It just takes a bit of work off my shoulders so you know they're there, you know? Anyway, should we just get straight into it? We're starting off with a white. Let's go. So we're starting off with a slip knot. You'll have to forgive me if I keep in this video picking stuff out of my yarn. My cat decided to sleep on top of my pile of wool last night, which is fantastic. She's not even allowed in my room. I don't see why this happened. I think somebody must have left the door open. But yeah, it's just meant that I've got a bit of fluffy yarn. So again, I do apologise if I keep stopping and picking. But anyway, let's start off with this slip knot on our hook. And we are chaining 5. So round the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then once you've done that, like we always do, we're slip stitching to the first stitch to join. So if I bring those up, you can count back 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you're going into your first stitch, pulling through a loop and pulling that one through the loop that's already on your hook. So we're moving on to round 1 now, and we're chaining 2, 1 and 2. We then want to do a treble into the ring, so pinch each side and pull apart to find your centre. And for our treble, you need to yarn over, go in through the middle of your circle, bring up a loop so you've got 3 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We then need to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're now going to treble 2 together into the centre of our ring. So for your treble 2 together, yarn over into the middle, pull up a loop so you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over back into your middle of your ring, pull up a loop, you've got 4 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through all 3, and then we're chaining 2, 1 and 2. I'll show you how to do that again. Yarn over into your ring, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over back into the middle, pull up a loop, you've got 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3, chain 2. So if you look under round 1 of your magazine, it will tell you how many times you need to do the treble 2 together followed by the 2 chains. If you keep going until you've completed it the amount of times you need to, I'll meet you at the end of the round and show you how to finish that one off. So I've done the treble 2 together the amount of times that it says I need to, followed by the 2 chains, and then the final instruction for this round is to finish off with a slip stitch into the top of the first treble. So we're not going into those chain stitches that we did at the beginning of the round. We're going into the first true stitch that we made. So it's the V at the top of the stitch beside the chains, which would be this one just here. So go in through, pull up a loop and pull it through the loop that's already on your hook. You now actually need to fasten off the white. We've finished off with the white colour for now. We're going to be working with yarn B next, which is the cyan, and you want to join it to any of your 2 chain spaces, so any of your gaps are going around. So I've joined my cyan to a 2 chain space. It's tied on just in there. I'm going to put it onto my hook. And then for the start of round 2, we want to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We then want to do 2 trebles into that same space that you joined your yarn to. So yarn over and into that same 2 chain space. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and then 1 more treble into that same space. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We then want to chain 1, and we're then doing 3 trebles into the next space. So yarn over into your next space, pull up a loop. Oh, there we go, look. Apologies. Pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We've done 1 treble in that space. Pull through 2, pull through 2, there's 2 trebles, pull through 2, pull through 2, there's 3 trebles, chain 1. So going all the way around, it's 3 trebles into the 2 chain space, followed by 1 chain. I do it the amount of times it says to do it under round 2, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. So I've gone all the way around with my 3 trebles in every space, followed by a 1 chain. I've done my last 1 chain. Then you want to finish off this round with a slip stitch into your 3rd chain. So we've got our 3 chain stitches just here from the beginning. So you want to count up 3, go into your 3rd, pull up a loop and pull that loop through the one that is already on your hook. You can then fasten off your cyan coloured yarn. For round 3, we're going to be working with the peacock blue, and you want to join it to the centre treble of any of your 3 treble group. Now what that means, for example, you can see here I've got 3 stitches, I've got 3 trebles, so you would join your yarn to the middle stitch, or going round 3 stitches here, this one's the middle stitch, we're joining it to the middle one. So if you want to go ahead and join it to any of your middle stitches, I will show you how we need to carry on from there. So I've attached my peacock blue yarn, and can you see it's attached to that middle stitch in between those 3? So I'm going to put my hook in through and pull up my yarn so it's on my hook. So we want to do a double crochet into that same treble that we've just joined our yarn to. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to chain 1 to make sure that one's secure. And then we're going back in through the same stitch, pulling up a loop, so we've got 2 on our hook, yarning over and pulling through both, and we've done the double crochet. We then want to do 3 trebles into the next space. So to do that, we're yarning over and we're going into the space between the stitches. Pull up a loop so you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you've done 1 treble. And then we're doing the same into the same space. We've got 2 trebles and then 1 more into that same space. You've got 3 trebles. After you've done your 3 trebles into the space, you want to do a double crochet into the center treble stitch from the last round again. So essentially we're skipping the next stitch and we're doing a double crochet into that one after, just there. So skip the next one and into the one after. Go in through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. Again, 3 trebles into your next space. So yarn over into the space, pull through 2, pull through 2, there's 1, there's 2 and 3, and then we're going to double crochet into that middle stitch again. So skip this one, double crochet into the one after, go in through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. So we're going to continue that going all the way around with the 3 trebles into our spaces and the double crochet into the center treble stitch. If you go all the way around, I'll meet you at the end and show you what you need to do from there. So to finish off round 3, we want to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we did. So can you see here, we've got those 2 shorter stitches, and if you turn it, you can see your first V. So we're going to go in through that V, pull up a loop, and pull it through the loop that's on your hook, and you've finished round 3. You can fasten off the peacock blue, and we're going to be working with the white again. And you want to join it to any of the centre trebles from round 2. So I decided rather than just telling you, I was going to show you how to do this one because it's a bit of a complicated one. We are not joining to the centre treble from the 3 we've just done from the last round. We are joining to the centre treble from the cyan blue from round 2. So if you stretch that one apart, you can see your single stitch here, which was your double crochet from the last round. So we did 3 trebles, a single double crochet, and then 3 trebles again. So where that double crochet is, here in the middle, going into that stitch, we're going to join our yarn in through that stitch just there, not on top of it. We're going to go in through the previous round. So if you put your hook through from the back into that stitch and put it over your hook, you can then pull your yarn through to the other side. That's how I always join mine on. I'm then going to tie that one so it's fixed in place. And now it just means that our working tail, by doing that, putting the hook through this way, our non-working yarn is coming out the other side of the project. So if you have a look, it has now tied this loop, so it is covering over. Can you see? It goes in through round 2 and it covers over round 3 that we've just done. So if you go back in through that loop that you've just joined your yarn to, or the stitch I should say, and then you can pull your loop up through and you've got your white on your hook. So we're working over round 3 for this one, and you want to chain 3. So there's 1, 2 and 3. So now we're working into the same stitch that we've joined our yarn to. We want to do a treble, a chain, and then 2 trebles. So yarn over, back in through that stitch, pull up a loop, you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've done 1 treble, then 1 chain, and then 2 more trebles back into that stitch from the round before last. So there's 1 more treble and pull through 2, pull through 2. So I've done my chain stitches, a treble, a 1 chain and 2 trebles. We then want to chain 1, and then we're going into the center stitch of the cyan yarn again of the next cluster. So we're not going in any of these 3 stitches here from the previous round. We're not going into that double crochet. We are going into the middle treble of the cyan. So where you join that white yarn to for this round, we're working in to the same stitch of the next cluster with a treble to begin with. So if you yarn over, we're then going in here. This one just here at the base of that double crochet. So go in through and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 1 more treble into that space. Chain 1, and then 2 more trebles into that space. 1 treble, 2 treble, chain 1, and now we're going to repeat that going all the way around. So it's 2 trebles, 1 chain, 2 trebles, 1 chain. Yarn over, again at the base of that double crochet, we're going in here with 1 treble, 2, 1 chain, 2 more trebles, 1, 2, 1 chain. So it's 2 trebles, 1 chain, 2 trebles, 1 chain into every treble from round 2, middle treble from round 2. Hopefully you've managed to follow along with that, and it will look like this as you go round. So I'm going to go all the way around this one, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. So at the end of round 4, you should actually have an octagon, and I think that's the first time we've managed to do that. But I've never done that before, and I think it looks quite cool. So I've just done my last 2 trebles and 1 chain, and we want to finish round 4 off with a double crochet in our 3rd chain. So you'll have 3 chains at the beginning, go into your 3rd, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. And we're going to be working with our white yarn for round 5 as well, so don't fasten off just yet. So for round 5 we're chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3. We then want to do 2 trebles into the same space that our chains are coming from, so it's this big chain, so it's this big space at the bottom. So if you yarn over, go in through your big space, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, you've done 1 treble and then 2 trebles. So we're going to be doing double crochet stitches next, and we're skipping the first 2 treble stitches, and you want to work into the 1 chain space. So the 1 chain space is just here, and it's between, can you see my finger coming up through there? It's between, you've got 2 trebles, a 1 chain space and 2 trebles. So we're going in through the middle. So go in through that one, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. You then want to do a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So go into your next stitch, pull through both, into your next stitch, pull through both. We're going to repeat that with 1 double crochet into the next 1 chain space, so in the big gap. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches again. Pull through both, pull through both. So you now want to do a double crochet into the next 1 chain space, which is again the space between your 4 trebles that you've got there. So go in through, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. We're then missing the next 2 trebles. We're not using those stitches, and we're going straight into the space instead, where we're doing 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. So yarn over into that space. There's 1 treble, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2 and 3 more trebles. 1, 2 and 3. We're then repeating that going all the way around. So miss the next 2 trebles and do 1 double crochet into the space in between the 4 stitches that you've got there. So go in through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both, and a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and 2, a double crochet into your next space, and a double crochet into your next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and then 1 more double crochet again into the center space in between your 4 stitches. So we are then skipping the next 2 stitches and working straight into this space just here with 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. So there's 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2 and 3 more trebles. 1, 2 and 3. Skip the next 2 stitches, single double crochet into that center 1 chain space and a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. A double crochet into that large space there, and then a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. And then 1 more double crochet into that center space between those 4 stitches. And now we're at our next corner. You can see the square shape forming now. So again, into the next space for the corner, we're doing 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. So there's 1 treble, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more trebles. 1, 2 and 3. Skip the next 2 stitches, a double crochet in between the 4, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both, double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and 2, a double crochet into the big space and a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2, a double crochet into the space between those 4 stitches, and now you're at your final corner. So into the corner space we are missing those 2 stitches, and then we're doing 3 trebles and 2 chains into here. So there's 1, 2 and 3, 2 chains, 1 and 2, and we're fastening off with a slip stitch into our 3rd chain. So you've got your 3 chains here at the beginning, go into the 3rd, pull up a loop and pull that one through the loop that's on your hook. And now we're ready to move on to round 6. For round 6 we're going to be using yarn D, which is the periwinkle, and you can join your periwinkle yarn to any of your corner spaces. So go ahead and fasten off your white, join your periwinkle, and we'll carry on from there. So I've joined my periwinkle yarn and attached it to my hook, and for round 6 we want to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. We then want to do a treble in the same space that we joined our yarn to, so into that corner space. So yarn over and into the corner, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We then want to do a treble in each of the next X amount of stitches that we've got going along here. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many because I can't give away the full pattern due to copyright, but I will do a few with you just to show you what you need to do. So yarn over and into your first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We've done 1, into the next stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2. We've done 2 trebles, into the next stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2. We've done 3. So if you continue along to your first corner, if you look under round 6 in the magazine, it will tell you exactly how many trebles you need, and I will meet you at the first corner to show you what you need to do from there. So I've come to the corner of round 6, and into the corners we want to do 2 trebles, 2 chains and 2 trebles. So yarn over, into your corner, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There's 1 treble and 2 chains, 1 chain, 2 chain and 2 more trebles. 1 and 2. So continue along with your trebles. Your corners are 2 trebles, 2 chains, 2 trebles, and I will meet you at the end of the round. So once you get to the final corner for round 6, you want to do 2 trebles into the corner space. So yarn over and into your corner, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We've done 1 and there's 2. We then want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to fasten off with a slip stitch into our 3rd chain. So count up your 3 chains at the beginning, go into the 3rd loop, pull up a loop and pull that one through the loop that's on your hook, and then fasten off the periwinkle. We're going to be going back to working with yarn A, which is the white, for round 7, and you want to join that to any of your corner spaces. So for round 7, once you've got your white joined onto your corner space, you want to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3, and we're then going to do a treble into the same space, so into that corner where you joined your white yarn. So there's that one. We're then going to do a treble in the space between the next 2 trebles, and we're doing that 16 times. So for this round, we're not working into the stitches at the top. We're still working with our treble stitch, but we're going to go in between the trebles. Can you see the gaps there? We're going to go through each of those gaps, like in through here, rather than working into the stitch on top. So I will show you. So if you yarn over ready, obviously to begin with, normally, if we were doing a treble and going into a stitch, we'd go into that V at the top, wouldn't we? We're not going to do that this time. You see these 2 trebles here? If you pull them apart, and you'll see that you've got a hole here, we're going to work into that hole instead. So I'm going to put in my hook in through there, and then pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're still doing the treble in exactly the same way. We're just starting in a different place. So yarn over for your next one. And we are going in between our 2 stitches in this gap here, not in the stitch at the top. So in through that gap, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and I've done 2. Yarn over into your next gap, pull through 2, yarn over into the next gap, pull through 2, and it should start looking like that. So that is your difference. So we've done 4 already. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and one more into the last gap, 16. So once you've gone along, it should look like that. So at your corner for round 7, you want to do again 2 trebles, 2 chains, 2 trebles. So into that corner, there's 1 treble, 2 chains, 1 and 2 more trebles. 1 and 2. So if you continue for round 7, remembering to do your treble stitches all the way along, but not into the tops of the stitches from the last round, but instead into the gaps in between the stitches from the last round. Your corners are 2 trebles, 2 chains, 2 trebles. I will meet you at the end of the round. So your last corner for round 7 is 2 trebles into the corner space. There's 1 and 2. We're then chaining 2, 1 and 2, and fastening off with a slip stitch into our 3rd chain. So go into your 3rd chain from the chains you did at the beginning of the round, pull up a loop and pull that one through the loop that's on your hook, You can then fasten off your white. We're working with yarn C, which is the peacock blue again for the next round. So if you join that to any of your corner spaces, we will continue with the square. I've joined my peacock yarn back to one of the corner spaces, and we want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and this round 8 is going to be our last coloured round before we add the white border. So we want to do half trebles all the way along. Again, not going to tell you exactly how many due to the copyright of the pattern, but I will do a few with you. So we're not doing any half trebles into our corner space. We're going straight into the stitches. So yarn over into your first stitch. Pull up a loop, you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And we've done 1. Yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3. We've done 2 half trebles. There's 3, 4 and 5. So if you want to continue along to your first corner, the magazine tells you under round 8 how many half trebles you need to do. I will meet you at your first corner. I will meet you at your first corner and tell you what you need to do from there. So once you get to your corner for round 8, it should be looking like this. You want to do 1 half treble, 2 chains and 1 half treble into that corner space. So yarn over into your corner, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. We've done our 1 half treble, chain 2, 1 and 2, and the other half treble into that corner space. So continue along with your half trebles. Your corners are 1 half treble, 2 chains, 1 half treble. I will meet you at the end of the round. I'm at my final corner for round 8, and into the corner space we want to do 1 half treble. So yarn over, there's 1 half treble, chain 2. We then want to do a slip stitch into our second chain. So you've got your 2 chains here at the beginning. We're going to go into the second, pull up a loop, pull that one through the loop that's on our hook. You can now go ahead and fasten that one off because we're going to be doing our border next. So for our border, as we always do, we're using yarn A, which is the white. So if you go ahead and fasten that one to any of your corner spaces, we will continue from there. Now, I don't know about you, but my square is quite large, and therefore for that reason, as I have done with other videos beforehand, I am going to do a smaller stitch for the border, so I'm adding less height and width to my square so that it makes it a similar size to the rest of the squares we've done once their borders are added, if that makes sense. I know that I've done this a lot in my videos, but obviously some people don't use every video, some only do a few when they're stuck. So hopefully you can follow along and know what I mean by that. So you don't have to do what I do. If your square is the same size as all your other squares, then stick with the border pattern that's in the magazine. And I will explain how to do both like I always do. So I've joined my yarn to my corner stitch and it's now on my hook. So if you are doing half trebles and sticking with the pattern in the magazine, here you would chain 2. So 1 and 2. You would do a half treble in each of the next 10 stitches, 2 in the next, and then a half treble in the next 11 stitches, and your corners would be 1 half treble, 2 chains, 1 half treble, just like in the magazine. But for me, I'm going with a smaller stitch. I'm going to do a double crochet. So I'm only going to chain 1, less height as the 2 chains. So exactly the same as what I said for the half trebles, 10 stitches, 2 in the next, 11 stitches, but I'm doing the double crochet instead. So into your first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. I've done 1 double crochet. Into the next, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now, like I said, if you're doing half trebles, 2 half trebles in the next. For the double crochet, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So there's 1 and 2, and now single stitches for the rest. So you're either doing 11 half doubles, you're either doing 11 half treble crochets or 11 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, and we're at the corner. Into the corner, 1 stitch, 2 chains, 1 stitch, and what I mean by that is either 1 half treble, 2 chains, 1 half treble, or 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 1 double crochet. Sticking with a double crochet for myself, I'm going into the corner with 1 double crochet, 2 chains, and 1 double crochet. So remember, whichever stitch you're using, it's 10, 2 in the next, 11, and then your corners are 1 stitch, 2 chains, 1 stitch. So either 10 half trebles, 2 half trebles in the next, 11 half trebles, and your corner would be 1 half treble, 2 chains, 1 half treble, or going by what I've done, 10 double crochets, 2 in the next, 11 double crochets, and then your corners 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 1 double crochet. I hope this makes sense. Carry on with the rest of the round and I'll meet you at the end. So I've come to the end of the border, and in the corner we want to do 1 stitch. So if you're doing your half trebles, do a half treble into the corner. If you're doing a double crochet, like myself, go straight into the corner with that stitch. We're then chaining 2. With your half treble crochet, to finish it off, you want to slip stitch into your 3rd chain. I don't have these chains here at the moment, so I can't show you how to do that because I've done a different stitch, obviously. But that's how you need to finish that one off and then fasten off completely. If you've done the double crochet, we're going straight into that first stitch, that first double crochet that we did. Pulling up a loop, pulling it through the loop that's on our hook, and there's that one done. I must apologise, you can obviously see light coming from this way at the moment. This is because my lights still aren't fixed, so I've got sunlight coming in. So you'll just have to bear with me. I think I've got a new light arriving in the next 4 or 5 days, so when that comes, there'll be no more of this. I'm just trying to block it off. I do realise it looks very unprofessional. So anyway, there's that one finished. So there you have it. There is your frozen snowflower square from issue 56. I hope you've enjoyed making this one. I certainly have. It was quite nice to do some different colour changes. It was quite nice to do the same stitches but use them in a different way. I've quite enjoyed doing that. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and make sure to give it a like anyway if you're still following along using the pattern instructions, because it helps me to gauge how many are still going along with my videos. And remember to hit that subscribe button if you want to make sure that you get a notification when your next video is posted. I'm actually going to go straight ahead and film the next video because I've got a lot of free time right now and it means that I can get them to you quicker. So I'm going to get straight on with that one and I will see you for the next one. See you then.